Hello everybody and welcome to Introduction Day. For those of you who are part of my Facebook and have been following my posts, you already have been expecting this video. I contemplating doing live, making a regular video, things like that, considering I'm not a video blogger and I don't do these kinds of things in general, but I've been putting it off. I've been putting it off for a while, and I don't really have a good reason per se, other than the fact that I wasn't real sure what I was going to say. Not really comfortable doing this kind of thing, so keep your criticism on the video blog channel. I already have critics, so I'm not afraid of tough comments and whatever, and people thinking that I shouldn't be publicly doing this kind of thing. But you know what? It's time that we talk about it. And so a couple months ago, I was invited to participate in a education video for CME credit for EMS, first responders. And the category was about PTSD, severe depression, things of that, how it affects the first responder inside and outside of work, home, all of those kinds of things. Because even though you try not to take things home, like, that's what happens. And so we were putting together that, and I got to tell my story, got to tell part of it. I didn't get to tell the whole thing, and that's okay. It wasn't because we ran out of time and stuff like that. They just had more than just me participating, and I walked away from that wanting to do more. And it just so happens that that day I had looked on Facebook and I had seen yet another first responder had taken his own life due to PTSD, and I decided enough was enough, and something needed to be done. So I've been posting for the better part of 6 months now about how I was going to take this public journey with you, an educational process, to tell my whole story publicly for the very first time. Most of my family, my husband included, is going to learn things at the same time that you do. After encouragement from my counselor, I've been under treatment for over a year now. They think that this is a good step and I'm in a good place. And to assure I was in a good place, I waited until I moved. Most of you know, I moved back out to the country. And that's when I wanted to wait until I was here, because this is my safe place, and I'm going to explain why. For those of you who are not on my Facebook and don't know me, a little bit of an introduction. My name is Michelle Anderson, and I am a paramedic. Have been for almost 15 years now, as far as being involved in EMS. Started out as an EMT, did some dispatch for a couple years, never dabbled in fire, really wasn't my thing. I'm not the person who runs into burning buildings. I'll stand outside while you guys bring them to me, but I've been there. I've seen what you guys go through, and I understand more than right now that you know, and that's okay, because this is just video number 1. It's Introduction Day. So my purpose and my reason for wanting to do this is because PTSD is taboo. We don't talk about it, but it's real. Depression is also real. It's also taboo. You're not supposed to struggle. You're a first responder. You signed up for this job. Don't you love that when people say that? Like, you signed up to do this. Yeah, I did. But you know what? I'm human. I have feelings, and I'm affected by things I see too. So, and I know all of you are as well. My goal is to spread awareness by videos, publicly telling my story, so you have the ability to share. You have the ability to go back, refer, whatever. Hand out advice as I can. I'm not a professional. I'm not a counselor. I'm not anybody. This is just me. I also want to make it a point for those of you who do know me through my job, or know me and know where I work. I want everyone to know that I am taking this journey as me. Nothing that I say is any kind of reflection for the company that I work for, nor do my opinions make statements for that company. So please do not associate the two. I know you guys are going to figure it out, those of you who don't, and those who already know who I work for. If you feel the need to mention it, well, that's on you. But I won't be doing that, because I'm taking this as me. This is my personal thing. This is not about them. This is about me helping you. And so that's where we're going to start, you know. I had planned on writing something spectacular for today, by the way. Tempted it a couple times, and it got crumbled up and thrown in the trash. So we're kind of winging it a little bit right now. I'm not going off a script. Again, I don't do public speeches. I don't do anything like that. I don't really have a timeline, but I have an outline of things that I want to touch base with, that I want to talk about, things that I want to focus on. I am up for ideas, so if you are watching and sharing, or feel free to send me a private message on Facebook. If you want me to touch on something, touch base on anything, talk about a subject, talk about anything, I'm more than happy to do that. I will not share your information. I won't even tell anybody who suggested it or anything like that. Everything will stay just between you and me. Nobody else will know. So in the last 15 years, I've seen a thing or two, and I've struggled with some stuff, and I hit rock bottom about a year ago in a big way, to the point that between therapy and treatment, I am now in recovery. I'm in recovery every single day, and so are most of you. I want you to know that you're not alone, and this is why I'm doing this. I want you to know that you're not alone. If you are one of those people who are in your darkest moments right now, I want you to look at me, and I want you to see that I am living proof that it's okay. You're going to get through this, and I believe in you. And together, we're going to take this journey. And if I can help you, well, then it's all worth it for me. It's scary to own a couple of things, and you guys will see that as that comes up, but it's going to be 100% real, raw, and me. Not going to sugarcoat it. Those of you who know me know that I don't do that. I will attempt to keep cuss words at a minimum. I'm still angry about some of the stages that we're going to talk about, and it's not a bad thing, as I can own those, and I can recognize when I start going to a place that is not okay for me. But the biggest reason why I waited until we moved is because of, again, for those who've been following me on Facebook, Serenity. I want to introduce you to her today too. Serenity is a tree on our property in our backyard. My son, when he first saw it, he's 14, he called it a movie tree. One of those that just sits in a field all alone, and if you look behind me as I start to walk away, you're going to start to be able to see her in full bloom, and she's absolutely magnificent, and she's beautiful. I come out here and I sit with her, I touch the bark, I talk to her, I lay all of my feelings and everything bad out on the table with Serenity. I'm going to raise this up just a little bit so you can see her. I apologize. I would face the camera in the opposite direction. However, my camera only works forward facing right now. Just one more thing, it happens when you decide you're going to do something and then stuff stops working like it's supposed to. The reason I named her, I can't even say I named her Serenity, is because of the Serenity Prayer. Now, I'm not here to preach to you. I don't know what you believe in. That's up to you. But I will talk about what I believe in, so you need to be prepared for that too, because all of that is about me, and it's going to show you how I got from. Okay, so I'm going to talk about how I got to the point that I was, the lowest point in my life. I'm going to share with you every aspect of that and how I got there, and what that low point looked for me, what it looked like to me, what it was like to live there. It was not a fun time, but I'm going to share it with you because I know that you struggle, and I know that it's hard, and I know people judge you, and I know that they say some super mean things, like you're making it up, you're looking for attention. I've heard it all, okay? My critics have been less than nice about things, and I already have them. Even though this is day one, an introductory video for you, the general public, there's a lot of people who know some things. And at the same time, like I said, there's a lot of people who have known me for a very long time and think they know my story, but they really don't. They're going to hear some things that is hard for them too, because I'm going to own it all. I have to. It's important. This taboo of being a first responder and not being human has got to stop. Our military, our police officers, fire, EMS, all of you matter. And all of you struggle. You guys see the worst of things. Not all the time. But there are things that happen that you see that you have to deal with. And some of you feel like you don't have anybody to talk to about that. I was there. I get it. I was a girl who didn't believe in debriefings, sit around, talk about your feelings, and somebody look at you with the dumbest question on the planet and be like, how'd that make you feel? Really? And you can't really say what you want because you're in a room full of people who are going to do nothing but judge you, and there's always that one person who's waiting for you to say the wrong thing to run back and tattle to your boss to let them know that you're struggling and put the bug in their ear that you're no longer competent to be who you are. And that's not true either. You are human. You have feelings. It's okay. You're not alone. And I can't stress that enough. I really can't. You will understand as we continue to go through and continue to progress just how much I understand where you are. I don't even have to know who you are. I know what that black hole looks like. I know what it feels like to live in it. And I know how I got there. So we're going to take this journey, you and me, one video at a time, one conversation at a time. And we're going to talk about this. And I'm going to post it out public because it's time. It's time the taboo ends. It's time the shame ends. It is time that we feel free to talk about this because it's okay to not be okay. It really is. What's not okay is not being okay and staying silent about it because that's how people die. And I don't want to go to another brother or sister's funeral because they took their life. I don't want to read about it on Facebook. I don't want to see it. I know it's going to happen, and it makes me sad because we feel like there's nothing that you can do, and it's not true. So this is why I'm doing this. This is why I'm going to sit and I'm going to tell my story, and I'm going to do it in my safe place with serenity. Serenity prayer has gotten me through a lot of things. It helped me accept the things that I can change, the things that I can't change, and the wisdom to know the difference. And I'm pretty sure I screwed that up, but that is the gist of it. And it's so true. You can't change everything. People's opinion doesn't make it a fact. You are worth it. Your life is worth fighting for. Recovery is not a joke. Treatment, there's nothing wrong with it. And we're going to touch on all of those things as we continue to progress. I don't have a timeline for the next video. I'm still working out, the details on what subject is going to be next. I want to do them in kind of an order, stressing important things that we need to bring to light, that we need to bring to attention. And I just happen to be the person who's had enough. I'm not afraid to be your voice. I'm not afraid to be heard, and I'm not afraid to say it. And it's time someone stood up for all of us, became that voice, told the story, and fought for our mental health, because you know what? It's important. So, with that, thank you for joining me today. Thank you for sitting here through this ridiculous introduction video that I kind of winged and put together, and I hope I didn't screw it up too bad. I guess we'll see. We'll see what the public says, but regardless of that, whether you comment or not, share the video. If you know someone who is struggling, share it with them. Send it in a private messenger. Don't call them out in the public. Don't do it, because they're not going to be interested, and they're not going to participate, and that's not the goal here. I want to reach as many of you as I can. I want as many of you to see as you can everything that gets posted up, progress, all those kinds of things. Together we need to stand, and we need to fight for our brothers and sisters who are struggling. It's time to stop the silence, and that begins today. So God bless you. Thank you for visiting this page. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Share on Facebook. I'm not tech savvy, so when I share this and upload this, it might take me a second to make sure that you guys can copy the link, share it, post it up on Facebook and things like that. So please be patient. And I'll see you next time.